Okay, here we are on an early Saturday morning. This is the earliest I think we ever did a show, right? And
I think it is.
Mashi doesn't know this, but here's a little surprise, which is the new addition to the family. So this is what I was saying. I wasn't sure if the timing was going to work out. For people that I'm going to bail with this guy in a second because he's a puppy with a lot of energy. But this is Goose, and for everybody that doesn't know, I don't think we talked about it on the show. You know, I tore my Achilles, had surgery in December, then had my embolism.
Yeah.
And then my dog died shortly after that. Yep. My other dog.
I remember that.
So this is our new addition, rescue pup. All right, I'll let you down because you want to go play.
What kind of dog is he? Do you know what kind of dog he is?
We're gonna get a DNA test. Here comes the link. But we think he's Australian Shepherd, boxer, and what was the other one they expected? Boxer, Australian Shepherd, and one other one. I'll think of it here in a second. But we're going to get a test done. We'll figure it out.
He's cute. I like it. I love it. Nothing like a little puppy in the house to
name's Goose.
One, love on, and two, make you crazy, right?
Yeah. Now I did think we were thinking at one point like names associated with like golf in the show, and I was like Biomes, BB, I don't know. So, but we couldn't come up with things. So ended up being Goose. So here we are. That's why I was telling you I had a long week because I haven't slept in my bed in 4 days. Because we do
Is Goose in your bed the whole time?
No. Because we do like the crate training, which helps with like potty training. Because if you put a dog in like a confined space, but we don't like to leave dogs in there for long. So like at night, I put him in there for like an hour, try to get some sleep. Then you go grab him, take him outside. He goes to the bathroom. Then you put him back in the crate for a little bit and just rinse and repeat all night long. It works really well. It's just that, I don't like leaving the dog in the crate for a long time. So anyway, let's get into what's behind the bar. Not much this morning, right?
It is 8. It's 8:30 in the morning here, so no, I will not be.
Well, we were talking about like whether I was going to go get some coffee with a little Bailey's in it or something, and I just decided I was going to stick with tea. So boring. What's behind the bar today? Sorry, everybody, but it was a choice between getting the show done and getting something out for the weekend.
Well, and this will go into it. My not having something in my coffee now ties into Golf Story, which is next.
It does.
Is perfect.
All right, so there it is, Golf Story.
So this is more like golf equipment story. Okay, real quick, just to share. So this has happened in January. I have been struggling with my driver in the sim and stuff. And when I mean struggling, meaning I felt like I was hitting the ball really well with the driver, but the result wasn't good. And the numbers looked a little weird. It was like, man, I don't understand why I feel like I've got a really good swing speed.
And was this like all about the time you started your new lessons with Shanky too?
No, this is way after. I started that back in September, and this is January. So no, this is way after. And so I was seeing a really good swing speed, really good club head speed, and a really, really low smash. And it kept getting lower and lower, getting worse. And so, like, I was playing on SGT one week.
Like, how low is it? How low is your smash factor?
Well, I'll tell you. Hold on. So I was playing on SGT one week and, like, hit a really great shot, and it was like a 139 smash. And I'm like, well, and I looked at my Unicore software. I'm like, well, I hit that ball right in the middle of the club face. It wasn't, like, off the toe or heel. So I kept doing it, and over the course of the winter, it kept going down. And so I finally was in the same SGT round. I had 104, for me, good 104 mile-an-hour club head speed, a ball dead center in the face, and a 125 smash.
So how far is it going then?
About 182 yards.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah. I think I know where this is going. Go ahead.
90.
Yeah.
So I get real frustrated, and no, I have a local club fitter that I use. I do everything with him. I have a lifetime club fitting with him. It's a beautiful process. Every spring I go down, I just swing with him for an hour, and he'll look and say, do I need to make any changes to your clubs, change any lie, loft, setting, anything like that? And then once every few years, I then update gear and equipment and everything. So I brought it down there, and we did some testing and some swinging and stuff on it, and he determined that I had a cracked face on the club.
But you couldn't see it. Nothing visible.
Couldn't see it at all. So nothing visible whatsoever. So he put a different driver in my hand, for example, down there in the facility, and boom, good swing, 100-mile-an-hour swing speed, and 145 smash, and the ball was carrying back to where it was supposed to be, right? So needless to say, I am driving today after we're done recording down to pick up the new driver, which is ready now. So
nice.
So
well, I was now. Kind of somewhat related to that was when I first started golfing. I'm a fairly not I knew 3 years ago, and I just went out and bought new clubs, and I got a Ping 425 Ping G425. I think that was what they are. And that's the club. If anyone knows, it sounds like you're hitting a ball with a garbage can. And even when I was like getting fitted, the guy's like, "Do you care how it sounds?" And I said, "I'm a new golfer. No, I don't." So we hit this club, and it's like clunk, clunk. So then I get the set in. They order me a set. I get it, and I start golfing, and I'm out there on the course hitting, and I really don't know how far I should be hitting it, but I'm hitting my driver like 220, and everyone's like, "Wow, you look like you should be hitting it farther than that because you have a really fast swing." I'm like, "I'm not. I'm a new golfer. Don't think." And I golf for like 2-3 months like this, and of course, everyone's like, "Oh my God, that thing sounds horrible." And I'm like, "Yep, that's the club. This is what it does." Next thing I know, I'm out there golfing one day, and there was a huge crack just through the whole thing. So I think it was defective from the get-go.
Well, the funny thing is when I was down there, once we determined that there was something wrong with the club, and it was something probably manufacturer or something, you couldn't see it. It was in the, he told me, he was like, take it and like slam it down flat on the ground on the bottom of the club, just really hard, and do that a couple of times. So I went boom, boom, boom. On the fourth time I slammed it down, the crown popped off.
So now, was that to show physical damage so you could get it replaced, or is that just to prove it was really broken?
No, it's a pretty old. I mean, it was a Maverick driver from 4 years ago. So I think I've hit 9,000 shots.
So it wasn't under warranty or anything. Okay.
No, and I tell you what, it was not. It was not cracked because I swing fast enough that it cracks the club. I do not, right? This is not, I think he thinks it was probably some manufacturer defect that over the years of just playing golf and hitting the ball and stuff like that it just kind of continued to finally get to a point where it just broke. So, but I'm all excited because I get to go down and get a new driver today.
Oh, yeah.
So it's ready finally.
Yeah, there you go. Are you, is the weather nice enough you could golf this weekend or no?
I got 3 rounds so far outside played. I'm not going this weekend. I had a chance to go play on Sunday, but my wife and I are going to go do a little date afternoon, which is good. Yeah. But yes, the weather is turning great, and we can't post scores here for handicap until March 15th. So we have one more next week, I think we can start. But yeah, weather's 60s. I played on Wednesday before I went to Beaver Creek with my son for a couple of days, and it was, I think, 72 when I played. So yeah, weather's turning great.
Yeah, I tried to hit a few with the guys indoor golf, not this Thursday, but the Thursday before, and that was a mistake. My Achilles was on fire the next day, so I had to back off from that. So I'm going to stick with my
trip. So go slow.
Sticking to my chipping and putting again for now.
Yep.
So let's get into the new courses. So pre-show, it took us probably a half an hour to figure out exactly how many courses there were and made sure the list was correct. What was the final count? 23?
Right.
23.
23 was the final count. Yep.
All right. So Steve, not Steve, Len, Steve, it's been such time since I forgot our producer's name. Yeah, Steve. Fire up the new course music. Here we go.
This 23 is over 2 weeks, okay?
Yes.
We did not do our show last week.
Good point.
So this is last week's courses and this week. So.
Yes, and there are we ended up sorting these by designer. So
designer, correct?
Yes. Yep. So no particular order when they're released. So we have Pelican Golf Club by Amache, which is down in Bel Air, Florida. I heard the Fresh Prince grew up there. Stony Creek Golf Par 3 by Bam Bam. And that's
Bel Air is in the other part of the country, by the way. Wrong coast.
Now, come on. He grew up in that Bel Air, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure the Fresh Prince was Bel Air, Maryland, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's exactly where it was. Yep.
And then Horse Creek by David Bates down there in Alabama. And then Ferg 311 came out with a triplet this week. So we had Rattlesnake Point Golf Club Copperhead, Rattle Point Golf Club Sidewinder, Rattlesnake Point Golf Club the Rattler Par 3. Wasn't the Go ahead.
I was saying, between the Copperhead and Sidewinder, when those courses came out, all I could think about was Kill Bill.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Why is there something? I was thinking something completely different, which was.
Oh no! It's such a the Kill Bill series.
Is that Uma Thurman?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And the assassin, the Deadly Viper Assassin Squad, all named after different snakes. So there is Copperwinder, the Copperhead. There is so Black Mamba, and so they're. It's all I would think about was that movie, those movies when those.
Okay. Well, I saw the Rattler in here, and I think. Did you have carnivals where you're at growing up? Like the fire company would do carnivals. Yeah. I thought there was a ride called the Rattler for some reason.
I think there was, but my parents would never really let us go to those carnivals because they were always afraid of the quality of the rides and whether it was always some like.
Yes, and the quality of the people building and putting together those rides. It was,
because it's like some 18-wheeler that pulls up and then transforms, and then like boom, there's the Rattler roller coaster.
Well, not only that, but literally the guy that's driving the 18-wheeler is the guy that puts the ride together, and the guy that sells the tickets, and the guy that takes the tickets, and the guy that controls the rides.
and who does the maintenance on the rides, more importantly.
Yes, and his name's Earl, and he's got lots of tattoos.
Yes, and so we would, as a kid, as an adult, I get this with my kids, but as a kid, we would drive by those, and I would throw a big pitch of fit in the car that I wanted to go, and my parents were like, "Oh my God, no!"
No, you're not getting on the Rattler.
Yes.
And we used to have them a lot around here, and in the recent years they've stopped doing them because there have been a lot of those accidents you hear of. I think, and the insurance costs have gone up so much that I know guys in the volunteer fire department that the insurance costs to do the carnivals are so ridiculous that they just can't make any money. So anyway, a little bit of a side there.
Tangented off.
Yes, a little tangent. Druids Glen Golf Club. Out in Washington. Now this one's by Brian, but also he teamed up with H.E. Maine. I don't know who that is. Don't recognize the name.
H.G. Maine, Higmane.
Amache's brother-in-law. Yeah. So
if the H and G, if the H is silent, then it's
H. Maine.
So I don't know. Like, but this is also, by the way, to be fair, it took us 2 weeks to realize that was Brian.
Yes,
we were looking at it
when he finally wrote to us and said, "It's Brian." Thank you.
Hey, idiots! It's Brian. We're like, oh, sorry.
Good.
It is Brian.
Purgatory Golf Club. I heard it's really hot there, by the way, in Indiana.
It's a hot course.
Yes, it's
hot release.
Yes, by Indy Scott, and then Indy Scott had another one, Sandy Pines Golf Club, another one in Indiana. Idlewood Golf Club down in Indiana by Jay Pruitt. So it's an Indiana week apparently. Deerfield Golf Club up in Canada by Ken J. Davidson. Corpus Christi Golf Club by Crazed. Silver Lakes Golf Country Club by Crazed. And the Links at Dardenne in Missouri by Mr. KSU Cat. And then, of course, by you, Mashy, Mariana Butte.
I had another one out.
Yeah, congratulations. And Swan Point Yacht and Country Club by Pac-Man down in Issue, Maryland. And then we had a couple of Jug Mountain courses, and this goes to the whole thing of this one's also next to a strip club called Jug Mountain by P Toad. So we got Jug Mountain, and then we got the little Jug Mountain minis. And another one by P Toad, Quail Hollow. What's that?
Yeah, because like I'm going to digress.
Okay.
I can't I like Jug Mountain. I like the original, the big one, because like Jug Mountain, they're big. It's the big Jug Mountain course. There's like big. It's good. I'm not a huge fan of the Jug Mountain Mini because they're just mini. I like the big course. I like the big Jug Mountain course. That was good, you know. But
what I felt about
not for me.
Well, what I felt about the big Jug Mountain course is that it was really, it was in your face.
It was right up in there, like right. You know, like some of those holes, they were right here, and it was great. It was great, but the mini.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of had to search for your ball a little bit on the mini. You had to look around to find it. It wasn't as much fun as the big course.
Yeah. Yes. Quail Hollow, Idaho golf course by P Toad. And are we getting to the end yet? Here, La Manja West by Simply Matey, who really messed us up because he did north and south, and those are the two that we threw in here that was messing up our count.
Yes.
So La Manja West. There are other La Manja courses on here by Simply Matey.
Now, is it a soft G? I'm curious. Is it a soft? I think it's a hard G or soft G?
I think it's Manja. The only reason I say that is there's a Italian restaurant near us called Manja Manja. And this is in Spain. You know, in Spain and Italy are the same thing.
and your Italian restaurant and the golf course in Spain are almost identical, so you might as well. Yeah,
it's all the same. It's all the same. And then Mash, I want you.
I like that.
Manja Manja. I think Manja means in Italian. Does it mean eat? I don't know. Anyway.
I think so. It's like manja.
Manja. Enjoy. Like, does it? Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up. Maybe that's the name of the show, Manja Manja. And then, Mashy, I want you to announce this one.
Or Big Jugs.
Yeah. You were having a struggle with this in the pre-show.
Well, I got the Davy part right? Like
yes.
The Davy Jones part I got all squared away. So Davy Hulme?
I think it's Davy
Hulme.
Davy Hulme?
Davy Hulme?
Davy Hulme?
Davy Hulme.
I think it's Davy Hulme.
Man, I struggle with these UK course names. I just struggle with them. And Golf Boy's laughing at me right now because he can probably pronounce it perfectly after building the course. So.
And then we have Hamilton Golf and Country Club by T Squared. And then T Squared also released a little mini golf course too called Putt Stroke. It sounds like it's based on a real close. Yep.
I would not, by the way, I would not recommend you go play the mini jugs and then the mini putt stroke. Like you can't stroke
honestly,
the mini putt and then with the little mini jugs.
If you're desperate, you could go to the big jug course and then afterwards do a putt stroke.
That would be an appropriate, I think, order of course play. You would do the big jug course first and then go to the putt stroke.
My problem if I do the putt stroke first, that I don't feel like going and playing the jugs later.
Well, the problem, exactly. You're done for the day.
Yes.
So,
yes, exactly. Okay, must play course of the week. Here we go. Please don't let one of them be Jug Mountain. Okay, so we're gonna jump into your course, Mashy.
We'll never finish the episode.
No, we won't.
Oh, thank you. Again, matter of fact, everybody knows we review each other's courses, but like I had nothing to do with this. You made your decision on your own.
I did, and we'll say I'm gonna quote Chevy Chase on this one and say it's a Butte, Clark.
This was a fun one to build. And this is a weird one for me because I don't.
Now, have you played this one?
I have played this once a long time ago. It's been a while, but I don't build courses for fee, right? I don't know. But some guys that I am in a local golf sim. A local golf league, I should say. There's like 80 people in it. It's a pretty big league. I think I know 3 people in it, but I know the owners, the organizers of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple of the guys in the league, this is their home course out in Loveland. It's not too far from here. And so they reached out and said, "Hey, will you build our course for us?" And I didn't have any courses to build. I was done with everything. And I'm like,
okay.
I'm sure, why not? And I played it once. Why not? I'll just build it for you. So I built it for them, and then they loved it. And then I got to do, it was a lot of fun. I got to do we did an 18 hole where it was crazy. The guys that are like, there's like 7 of them that this is their home course, and they're all in the local league as well. And so he invited, only one has a home sim. They all go down to this simulator company, like a sim,
business,
pay for sim. So they invited the 7 guys over to the one guy's house who has a sim. And so I played 18 with them, and it was like I would hit and then watch 7 of them tee off.
You didn't even do like alternating shot or anything?
No.
Oh God.
No. So we finally got like through hole 3 after like an hour and a half, and then they were like, "All right, let's just concede every shot." So we ended up playing just one. Each of them would take 1 swing, basically, is what they did. So
I can handle 5 guys if they're fast players, but like 8, I'm like 6. Like, no, we're playing alternating shot if we're doing 6 people.
Oh, it was nuts. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun because it was the first time they could see their home course come to life in GS Pro, and to see them be like ecstatic about it was great. Anyway, little side story.
So let's jump in. So true Mashi course, right? We got some great mountains in the background. Butte in the springtime, right? Kind of lush.
Yeah, I put this in spring, kind of like peak of the season. I did try to play around with some lighting and make it like an evening, and it didn't look right. I couldn't get the mountains to look right, so I went with what I know looked good. And what I did try to do on this one, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just surround the course with mountains, because a lot of these elevated courses, you can kind of see all the way out to the end of the GS Pro 5,000 meter sight line.
Yeah.
And it just kind of drops off. This one a little different because that was their feedback back to me, was I actually moved the mountains to the actual direction the mountains really are. So when you're coming down 18, you don't see the mountains because you're facing east. And so I put some rolling hills and stuff over there to hide the drop off. So I did try to line the mountains at least to where the real mountains are located on the course.
Now, have you experimented at all with the pano functionality of taking a pano of Google and putting into a cylinder? Who did, is that no, it was it was Rockaway, right? That came up with that?
It was Rockaway who does that. I have not. Yeah, I should say that I'm not in a course I've released. I am experimenting it with a course I'm currently working on.
Okay. I would think like something like that would work well on a course like this if you want specific, mountains out there.
Yeah.
I don't build any courses. I haven't built any courses where I think it would make sense. Maybe Kapalua, but even then, I think you'd lose, like the ocean wouldn't look well with that. But anyway, I was just curious if you're playing with it. Curious to see how it looks.
Yeah, I'm playing around with it a little bit to learn it, and then I want to see how it compares to putting like full 3D mountain, in the background, and see if it, gets the same effect.
Now, I was surprised to see. Now, I wasn't surprised to see you had custom tee markers, but you didn't turn them. You had them facing. No, you had them facing the real golfer, not like the camera.
And what's funny is I've been a little bit. I'll tell you the honest truth. I didn't turn them on purpose because on one hand, I think for certain tees it makes sense. For other tees, it didn't. I turned these originally, and they looked weird. They looked weird as round facing. They didn't look. They bothered me. You know what I mean? And so I put them back to the regular alignment. I did see I missed a background in the A and the R there. I need to get that background cleaned out of there. But I didn't like the way they looked, to be fair. And so I put them back the same way.
Huh. Okay. And now, other note here is that your tee markers don't look like they're floating, but hold that thought because we're going to talk about that later on. And then you also had same logo on your flag as well.
Yep.
So
it's their logo. So I took their logo and put it everywhere.
This was cool, and I've seen this is something that next time I do pine trees was thinking about doing, is like at the bottom of pine trees the grass is always thinner and you have like the roots from the pine straw, and the pine straw kills all the grass. So I thought this was a really nice touch. Obviously you just did some vert painting with thinned out 3DG on it, so looked really good.
Yeah, it's exactly what I did. I did some vert painting with the black channel. I used I set the black channel as the root pine, the pine straw with the roots and this root and something else in it. And that thinned out the 3DG around it, because that's exactly what happens. The pine needles drop, the grass dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it looks like in real life. And so I did that. The hardest part was literally just going around and painting under every single tree just to make it look consistent.
Yep. And like you even did this like some areas like the back there, you didn't use the same pine. I think you used a different thing for under some of the other trees. So it wasn't like the same like pine rooty thing. It was just like, because like then you have like big trees. This is what I noticed like helps with realistic is if you have a really big tree, you get so much shadow underneath there, the grass dies too. So if you thin it out, that even helps it look more realistic. Nice.
Yeah, I find in most trees and most times you don't get green lush grass unless you're going to be able to get a lot of sun underneath that tree. And a lot of trees, like on this course and a lot of courses around here, the leaves block that. So
yep. And yeah, and if you vert paint it, which you can do now, and then also, so vert painting will look good from the distance, and then up close, there's no, the 3DG is thinned out, looks really good.
Thanks.
So then you had this, I don't want to say it's a mountain in the middle of the course, it's more like a ridge that goes across, and there's a couple of holes that have these really cool drops. So here's a good example. I think this was a par 3. Yeah, but it had like a 23-yard drop. And there's 2 holes here. There's one that goes down to that par 3, and there's another one that shoots out. I think it's maybe a par 4
to the left.
Yeah.
No,
but it's really cool.
So there
are 2 par 3s.
There's a par 3, par 3 going down to the 176 UF here, which goes down. There's a giant river that goes all along. That's all. It's kind of hidden behind all those big trees in real life as well. And then the tee boxes that are a little bit higher to the left go to another par 3 down to the left. That is about a 40-yard drop straight down, and it's a little wedge shot, which is fun. It's a lot of fun to hit a wedge 160 yards.
Yeah. Now these rocks,
but this one.
Go ahead. I was going to say the rocks you have here obviously are hand planted, but the big boulders, was that blender or were they prefabs?
I took prefabs, modified the texture, and then hand planted each and every prefab, and then custom sized, moved, rotated every single one.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I just don't think terrain and satellite imagery for this close up would look good.
Yeah, I would agree, because you're going to be when you're golfing up here in this like typical these spots, you definitely see those rocks for sure.
Yes, you're right there, and so I hand planted all the rocks.
Some really fun holes here. I like when I play with the guys, I like to have like a decent amount of water and hazards, because if you hit it in the water, we make everybody do a shot. Not everybody, the golfer does a shot. But you probably spent a lot of time working on your hazards. Yeah, you're starting to cry a little bit.
This course is tons of OB and tons of hazard.
Yeah, for sure. And you had I don't know if I got a screenshot of the bunkers. The bunkers were like almost like a dirt color. Is that how they are in real life too? They weren't like blonde.
It's a brown. I mean, they're very nice textured bunkers. It's not like you're gonna hit, it doesn't but their color is a very brownish looking kind of, light, not light. It's not a white sand or even a light sand. It's a much darker looking bunker in real life.
Oh, and another reason I captured it, not only because there were some like really cool water holes in here, but a byproduct of you vert painting around some of your trees was that the trees get rendered out on the satellite imagery. You can see here where there's trees because you kind of had the vert painting there too.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. You're right. I just noticed that just looking at the screenshot here. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have like, it might be a little trick. If you've got like a dense tree area that's not showing up in a mini map, you could always do some vert painting around it to change the color a little bit from the surrounding area, and then the mini map it'll look better.
That's a great point.
Yeah. And then what's the story behind the scoreboard? Because are these like real names?
Those are the guys. Those are the guys in the league.
Oh, okay, makes sense
so
now.
I surprised them with when we played this for the first time. We got to 18, and they were sharing their stream, the webcam of the room that they're all sitting in together playing it. And when they got here and they saw this, they just went crazy and ape shit, and they're like, "Oh my god!" So those are the actual guys who asked me to build it for them.
Nice, so. That's cool. And then I hope those guys don't live here because they need to mow the yard. I mean,
I got to figure out a better way. I just whatever. Yeah, I'm with you. I got to a point where I was like, I'm tired of putting mask areas around each individual house, and it was off the course, and I'm like, forget it. You're not going to see it anyway.
Yeah, you don't see it out there. It's only because I was flying around like looking for stuff, to find.
Yep.
And then this looks like it smells like shit in real life.
It does, and I didn't know this. Like I had this and what I didn't do is put the reeds on here, but I guess I forgot or whatever. But when you go up number 3, which is where this creek is, there's a creek that goes all the way up and it goes around to like a pond. And then you got to hit over the pond to get to the green. And they were like, oh no, that thing is gross. It is nasty. It is like, you got to, and so I just used the ram thing. It's kind of casual, but I don't think you grabbed it, but if you went up and looked at the pond, it's full of reeds. You can't even tell there's water in there unless
I do remember that shot, and I think I took one of them out because I was I knew we were going to have a lot of courses.
But that was there. They were like, no, that's gross. That water is gross. If your ball goes anywhere near it, it's just gone, and don't even try. So that's why I guess I meant to put the reeds into the water along the line. I probably forgot, but the effect is the same.
Yeah. No, it looks really good. Nice job on the course. Well done.
Thank you. It was fun.
Then we got Druids Glen. So I was like, was wondering, is this a real course or is this, because it's in Washington, but there's like a castle that like there's ruins around it. Like this thing is like 500 years old.
Yeah.
So I didn't ever go out and look, or maybe the castles are fake and it's just kind of for show. But so this is the one by H.G. Main and then Brian. And so here's tee box number 1. You can see some castles, like some ruins out there in the distance. Has some really cool tee markers, by the way. So these are like these
really cool Celtic kind of looking.
Yeah.
And they are the actual tee markers of the course. Like I was looking at their logo online, and they're like it's the front half of the Celtic dragon, and it looks great.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then the flag has kind of like a similar logo on it with Druids Glen on there as well. And then the logo really well done on the T signs as well. And then there's a good look at one of the castles. I'm curious if that was like, did he do that? I would feel like something like this could easily be found in Unity. Who knows? But you get like this Celtic feel throughout the whole course because there's a lot of like stonework throughout the whole course that matches and it feels similar.
And I did do a little research to try to figure out if like again, same like you, it's Washington. Are there castles in Washington that I've been there a lot and didn't know. And this place has 0 pictures of the course online. Nothing. Like you can book a tee time, but like, and I didn't go out to like Facebook, but like on their the Druids Glen website, right? Okay. There's not a single picture or flyover of the course anywhere that I could find. So I don't know if there's courses there or not. But if not, I mean, if there are, cool. If not, I love the effect though. I think it was a great call if they're not there in real life. I think it's cool.
And then what I also like what he did, it feels to me like when you look at stuff like this, that someone went over to one of the castles, took some of the stones out, and then made the tee boxes.
Made the tee boxes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing with like a lot of the walls and stuff and like the posts for the ropes. I mean, this looks like castle rock.
It looks so good with the posts with the rope. I love these. Yeah. I saw these this little rope fence and I thought they were rocks taken from the castles,
Yeah. I mean, Brian does a really good job of doing textures and just being a little bit creative with this stuff. I think you put this in there.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I noticed it on a couple holes. I think it was hole 3 or hole 4 on the ball flight. A little bit of a discoloration in the billboards. Not a ton, but a little bit, but enough to where I didn't notice it. So if you do an update, Brian, just check on that one.
Lighten them a little bit.
Lighten them a little bit, or darken the ones up close a little bit. 1 to 2, just they're off just a smidge.
Yep. And then some just grass is poking up in some areas. That's tough to.
And I got. Well, it was 2 things. I think what happened more than anything, and this is just again, if you do an update, I know Brian's courses are pretty amazing. I think what happened was he probably lowered this in with the terrain and imported it back into Blender and but didn't update VS Pro. Because you can see the grass is not, it's hovering, it's floating. You see the grasses off to the right there?
Yeah.
The grasses are floating where the original texture, where the original terrain was. And all he has to do is just reset those grasses, and then they will go back where it is, and that will take care of all of the exactly. That'll take care of what's poking through. Yeah. So I think that's all it was. I think that was hole 3 or so that I saw, and I saw it because my ball landed right there. I was like, oh, hey, we got a bunch of floating grasses. So less of a critique and more of a hey, heads up in case you didn't notice it.
Yeah. And then so like maintenance shed building with castles in the background. And what is
Yep.
Is this a bunker that maybe has the wrong texture on it? I don't know. Who knows? Looks like it's shaped like a bunker down here.
It looks like a bunker. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like a bunker, and I couldn't tell whether it should be a bunker or it should be a. I didn't know. It was more of a question.
I don't think it's a bunker because I mean he actually vert painted it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, So maybe it's just maybe it's just a It's interesting.
So nice job on that, Druids.
Good job.
Cool course.
Great course.
And then T Squared, who has stormed onto the scene and had a lot of M pals. So this is Hamilton Golf and Country Club in Hamilton, Canada, which I think must be the Canadian Open. Sounds like it is hosted there this year.
Well, and then they got I think so. And I played this one in the sim. I didn't play them all in the sim, but I played this one in the sim it was me and Justin against Man and Dalis. And we had a ton of fun playing this course, and we played a scramble and made some good low scores on this one. And then Justin had to leave after hole 10. And so I took the two of them on for the remaining 8 holes and managed to fend them off from their advance trying to beat us. But really fun course and really enjoyed this. Was a really great layout. It was a ton of fun to play this course.
So he's got some cool signs. He's got the Canadian logo or Canadian Open logo on there. And it sounds like there must be 2 courses. There's a west course. I don't know if there's an east course or not. You never. That's the T markers. Interesting.
Yeah, the T markers are helmets. Hockey helmets.
Now it's funny because during pre-show we said, "Oh, they look like rocks," and then it wasn't until you zoomed in and you actually figured out what it was.
Yeah, matter of fact, when we were playing, the 4 of us were playing. We were making comments on the T markers, and I said it, and somebody else had agreed, and they were like, "Yeah, it looks like he took a cool prefab rock and colored it, and looks nice." And then I zoomed in today to get the screenshot.
Oh, so you guys, when you played this, didn't realize they were helmets the whole time either.
No, I didn't. Well, we thought they were rocks. So I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, great job on the tee, but I didn't know what it was until after.
And signs.
The screenshot didn't come out great, but it says Canadian Open on it. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So this was like, I thought he did a really good job with the grasses being very consistent. If you look at, there's like a base color of this like lighter colored grass that actually matches some of like the textures off, like in the main fairway. So it blends extremely well. Looks really good.
Not only that, I thought the colors are great, but I thought the transition from the taller grass to the rough up there was really well done as well. It's a nice overlap. It's not a hard line at all. And so we thought when we played this one, we thought that the rough looked really, really good. It was really good looking. And the hue is great. The hue color across the board is extremely well done. Nothing stands out as odd or popped or, looks really good.
And then he did a good job with the grandstands. I think he did the grandstands because those don't look like, because I know our Dyer is working on like a grandstand, if you want to call it, kits that allow people to kind of manipulate grandstands and put more of them out there. But this, I don't recognize these from anywhere, so I think he built all these from scratch.
Agreed. We were talking about that same. I don't think these are anything I've seen before, and so I don't know if he built them or had them built, but they looked great.
Yeah, I was also very impressed in the detail on the tables. Even it's like a semi-transparent glass tempered top. It's pretty cool.
It's great. It's really, I mean, you don't ever see that unless you fly over there. But yeah, it's a great.
And
It's a great
even the
material.
chairs are like cushioned, like chairs.
Yeah,
they look like they'd be very high try count, but the performance was fine on the
and
course.
very, very comfortable on my tush.
And then it had the outhouses, which the reason I'm capturing this is I felt like, was it at the players, or where? I remember seeing something about there was a guy at one of these golf competitions recently who was on top of an outhouse drunk and fell off. Did you see that clip?
I did not see that clip.
I
No,
thought it
I
was
don't remember
from
that.
TPC Scottsdale.
Okay. All right.
And that was just a freaking mess this year as far as people drinking.
Yeah.
And I thought there
Yeah.
was one that showed a guy climbing on top of one of the outhouses and then falling. It was really stupid, but that's why I put him in here, because it just reminded me of that. So this is funny. So this is really cool. So he put a car out here, and I know I can't tell you this is like a Bugatti, a Ferrari, or whatever. But so hole in one prize, right?
Yep.
A supercar.
That's a cool car. I'd like to win that car. I'm not sure about the color for me, but maybe my wife would like it. But
yeah, something. I'm not going to complain if someone wants to give me a baby blue like supercar. Sure, I'm okay with that.
Sure, I'll take it.
And then here's the one on the next hole, which is what a VW, what a GT, VW GT or something. I don't know.
This one actually brought
maybe this
back
is Brian's
something
call
when I saw this. Well, this one brought back something for me when I saw this in the course, which is I'm not sure if it brought back a little bit of memory, and it might have been a little bit of a bad memory, I should say. I'm scarred. It's a little scarred memory. So yeah, you can shrink us down, because what this reminded me of, this particular prize, which I don't ever want to win, is, if you go forward one, my mom's 1984 Dodge Omni. This is my mom. So long story short, I was at school.
Dodge
I came home from school,
Omni.
and my mom was like, she was brimming from ear to ear that she had bought a car without anybody's help, and I was really proud of her, and I'm really happy for her. And I go to the garage to look at the car, and that's what she bought, a 1984 Dodge Omni. So that's what it reminded me of when I saw that car, and I just I cringed.
Well, we had, I looked at that, and it looks very similar to the car we had, which was a 1982 Volkswagen Rabbit. It's very similar style car at the time. Yeah.
Very similar, exactly. So that's better. That one's a better car.
Yeah. Now this one's green. Okay. Now, but since it's in Canada, what's the other thing that you can win, which would be a Zamboni? That makes sense, right?
Hell, would I want to win a Zamboni?
I know, it was so random. Awesome. It was so random. It was like between you can see the driving range in the background, and hole one was a Zamboni on display. Yeah.
I would. There's nothing I want more than to take my kid to school on a Zamboni. I'm gonna pull up there. All right, hop off, Travis. Let's go.
So then he did put a few people on a couple holes, which was cool. I mean, you get there, and it's funny is they're very animated too. There's I think it was this guy right here is he's either going with his hands in the air like he's at a rock concert, and then other people are clapping.
Yeah.
And then they had them in the grandstands later on. I just wish there was a way you could add more without killing performance. But then, then it gets back to, the TGC people, which are the Walking Dead, just kind of standing there staring. But they were very animated. It was cool. It was nice. It was a good job.
He also had the cheering on this hole, this par 3, 13th, I think it was. And luckily he's turned it down. It was pretty loud.
Oh, it was loud
when
initially.
We got to 13. I'm like, oh my God, I'm scrambling to go find the volume.
And you can't hear the guys talking to you.
It was way loud. Yes, it was loud, but he's turned that way down. But it was a lot of fun. I am surprised, and I loved it. That was great. I am surprised. Your nerves actually I know that they're fake people animated in the cheering, but your nerves kind of go up a little bit when you got to hit a shot and they're cheering in the background, the noise is there, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Nice. And then we go to Idlewood. Now, I'm not sure if Idlewood is the same thing as this is Idlewold. Sorry, I keep on saying Idlewood. It's not. It's Idlewold.
Idlewold.
And then over here we got Idlewad.
But there's no L. There's I don't like. Wait, did he do? I'm confused now.
I'm pretty sure it's Idlewold, but then he has Idlewad here in the snip.
Well, what is it?
I think it's Idlewold, like world without an R. Because in his description, he even said Idlewold. I don't think it's Idlewood.
So, that's the wrong place. I'm looking it up real quick, and that's in the wrong spot, and I'm not getting anything with an L.
Oh, really? Is this Now I actually did end up looking, and I did find. Well, I'll show you why I ended up looking later on. But so you don't find Idlewold Golf Club anywhere?
I mean, I might have spelled it wrong, but I'm looking right now.
Idlewold. Like Griswold.
And where is this in? This is in Indiana.
This is in Pendleton, Indiana. Yes.
Pendleton. I'm looking right now because now there it is. Pendleton. It's Idlewold. Idlewold. That is how it is.
He's got it.
He has got it correct in his name up there. Right. It's just that screenshot.
Just the screenshot. He left the L out. Yeah. So this was also cool. Now this is when we said earlier about tees floating. Now you look at this tee and it looks like it's floating, but this must be like a shadow issue with Unity, because when you zoom in on it, it's not. None of these are floating. It's because the shadow isn't correct. And I have kind of seen this before with tee markers I've done. That for some reason they just don't. The shadow doesn't render. It makes it look like they're floating.
That's weird.
It is weird. But that's cool. Weird. Custom tee markers, custom flags. And then this really interesting shack, which is.
I loved it though. I
love it too. And when I say interesting, kind of like haha, laughing, unique. And it must be. I'm thinking it must be like famous. And as a matter of fact, when I looked up the course, Mashie. And I looked up the course for a couple different reasons, this being one, and another thing coming up being the second thing, was that I did a search, and then on Google Maps, I was looking at the overhead, and this place is even like pin marked in Google. It has reviews and everything, and the reviews are really good. I think it's like a famous barbecue or a really good barbecue place.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. It's Sam's Smokehouse, and man, that menu looks so
I don't think it's Sam's Smokehouse, though. It's Sam's.
Psalms. You're right.
I would think so, right? It could be Sam's, right. But AH is Psalms, right? Beer, barn, and barbecue. It sounds like my kind of place. Except there's one problem here. So sign. Here's my problem. This is what makes me nervous is when the warning says under Indiana law, an equine professional is not liable for an injury to or the death of a participant and equine activities. So are they barbecuing horses here? I don't, right?
I hope not.
But I didn't, and this is why I looked. I wanted to see it. Is there
I know is I'm looking at their menu.
Yeah. Is there a horse on it?
And no, there's well, I don't know because they don't.
Do they sell glue out of the front of the place?
Tortilla chips topped with cheese sauce, cola barbecue, shredded lettuce, guac, jalapenos, pulled chicken, pulled pork, or pulled brisket. So I don't see equine on the list. Like, man, this looks good. Like this, the problem with this is like I'm gonna go here at the turn and get myself a big old plate of barbecue and then sleep to the back nine.
Yes. I hear that's really good, but it tastes a little bit like glue. All right.
It's a little gummy.
Yeah, gummy. So well done, course. This one I love it when people put the OB stakes in. And these line up perfectly down the side, and the grasses are really well done here. The fences looks really cool. The road along the side. And there was a hole sponsored by a CrossFit here, which I thought was entertaining. I was into CrossFit for a number of years, so I thought I kind of got a chuckle at that. Maybe, I don't know if this was a commission course. Maybe it was, but maybe they commissioned the course. But hole sponsored by, pretty funny. This is another hole. I love the colors of the grasses, and anything and everything here looks pretty darn good. The only thing I would say is I would have liked to see it just a little bit more variation, like of either take those white ones up a little higher or take the purple ones up a little higher to get a little bit. It just looks like everything was chopped off at one layer.
I agree. It looks a little buzz cutty.
Yeah, but I mean, certainly nothing to squawk about here.
But it looks great.
It does look great.
Colors are great. I love the different colored flowers into that deep rough as well, like native looking flowers. It looks really nice.
Yep. Grass looks nice and soft. I thought his colors and just a little bit of a dry look on the rough areas, which look really good. T markers again look like they're floating here, but they're not floating at all. Now here everything looks really good, and then even above, like far up above, everything looks really good, and you do get some triangulation here, but it's not a problem. And I'm not pointing this out because I think it's a flaw. I'm just like telling like new designers, if you're watching this, you might see this as you're flying around in Unity Editor and you're like, oh, how do I fix this? Well, how you fix it is you get if he had darkened his grass just a tad to make it, or lightened his texture underneath to bring it up to the grass that match, that kind of disappears. But honestly, you don't really see this from the golfer's perspective, and that's what I was kind of showing here, is that you don't see those triangles. So don't sweat it too much if you see this. You can minimize it, but don't stress over it. If when you take the course, play it, in the sim and see if you notice it. And if you don't, then don't worry about it too much.
One thing to look as well, just in general for designers, especially newer designers that are watching, I find more. I think since the V4 tools have come out, sometimes you get this effect simply from the slope shader being too dark on the 3DG. And I can tell you right now, I think that the slope shader on that blend is a little too dark, and then it blends. So I think if you just make sure, I found that. Make sure that the slope shader on your material and then the slope shader on your 3DG material all match, and on your blend with the same slope shader power and the same slope shader color. I've seen sometimes they don't quite match, and you end up with these triangles showing up simply because it's too dark.
So there's a slope shader setting for 3DG as well?
Yes, there is a slope shader sledding, both power and color on the 3DG material.
We're not even drinking this morning and we can't talk.
There's a slope. Oh my gosh!
Slope shader setting.
So you've got to check that, because sometimes that is too dark simply just there, and it's easy to fix.
Yeah. Nice. Now, this is another reason I looked up the course, because there's a prison there. So I was like, okay, is there really a prison? Yes, there's actually really a prison. It's like it's Pendleton Correctional Facility. And you can see here that there's actually OB markers, so they don't even want you getting close to the prison wall, because the guard up here is going to snipe you, right? So
that's my disappointment. What I wanted to see was I wanted to come up here and see a couple of guys climbing the fence, and then I wanted to see a guy in the tower shooting them as they come over the fence.
So funny thing though is, like, I went like looking over on the other side of this wall, and apparently if you hook one really bad, you can kill a prisoner. So I found this guy sitting over there, knocked out. And I think maybe someone threw their club over there, and now he's going to use it as a shiv. Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed that he went to all that detail on something you can't really see unless you fly over. That's pretty great.
This is actually an AI rendering. I went in and said, "Prisoner dead from golf shot," and this is what it gave me.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
I don't know why one of the golf balls is gigantic, but whatever, it works.
That's what I was going to ask. Why is it? It looks it looks like a soccer ball.
It does. It also looks like a softball.
And the golf
baseball.
club, by the way, looks like it's about a foot long.
Well, it's broken. There's like one here behind. This one's broken, and there's like another one over here that's like broken, and there's another shaft next to it over here. So I don't know what happened.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you, ChatGPT. Great course.
Yeah. Then we got Swan Point Yacht and Country Club by Mr. Pac-Man. So this one's down in Issue, Maryland. And so this, go ahead, Mashy. There's some fun things at this one.
Yeah, so listen, this course is great, and I for a lot of reasons. One, it's a ton of fun to play. It's a beautifully laid out course, and in Pac-Man did a really, really great job. His colors, his sat shader. I mean, he's a master at it, and I'll show you some examples of that. But I want everybody to take a really good look at this picture, because what you're looking at is a V3 course.
Yep.
So for everybody on Facebook that says you have to have the latest and greatest tools,
why don't we need to mark all the V4 courses? You know, where are the V4 courses? I need to know it's V4. Baloney, you don't need to know it's V4.
Hey, this is so much better because it's V4. This course is, I mean, think about it. This is a V3 course. I'm guessing this has been sitting on his Patreon for a while, and he's now releasing it to the SGT, which is what we want to see. And the quality of this course is top notch to any V4 course that's out there. Sure, are there some blends that we don't have because it's V3? Sure, absolutely, right? And so, but this goes to show you take the V3 tools and put them in the hands of a really, really incredible designer, and this is what you get out of it. So,
the funny thing is the cart paths here look like they have blends, but he just did sat shader on it.
There was a couple of times that the way he did shader, there was a couple of times on a sat shader that I had to look at double close to make sure there wasn't a blend. He did such a great job between the rough and the fairway with the sat shader. So the custom T marker, now this, I think this is probably, and you'll see in a little bit later on the slides, this is the asset. There was a big water tower. I'm guessing he took that and shrunk it down and made a T out of it. I love it.
It has to, because like there's even like the rails that are at the top of the tower, like really miniaturized up there too. It has to be.
Yeah, my only thought was the bulb part of the T where the water is housed. I think in the T marker, the real one is rounder. I feel like it's squatted a little bit.
He maybe decimated it in order to get the tricate count down. Maybe that could have done it. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but it was really cool looking, matching flags, of course, to go with it. Now, go ahead, next screenshot. Now, the first thing to note, I think I counted it up, and now I'm going to forget, but I think 15 or 16 holes have water in play on this course.
Yeah.
This is not a course, a spray it and play it course. This is target golf. And like, this is a great example, number 2. And there's 2 reasons I wanted to show this. And I took the screenshot with my mini map cursor in there. You have a pretty long carry to put yourself anywhere in contention, without having a long approach shot coming in over that water. You're 250 over that water. But then 2, more importantly, look at that. Look how beautiful the grass is, the swampy area. Then it kind of blends into an actual lake area. And it feels like I'm at the beach somewhere. You know what I mean? It's a yacht club, right? So I'm going to be at the beach somewhere.
Some brackish water that comes in and out with the tide.
Yeah. And then you go forward one more screenshot, and then I got a close up, and he's got this in several. Like, it looks great. Like, I love the colors. I love the density of the grasses. I love the height that varied between the different grasses. There's just little pops of green here and there, but then most of it's kind of like, dried out. And then the further out you go, the deeper the water gets. So I thought that was great. And then we've got island green, great, beautiful looking work. It was just a ton of fun. The course itself was like water everywhere.
Yeah, this island
water
green looks
everywhere,
really cool.
Not a drop of drink.
Again, more beautiful grasses. I assume, is that ocean out there? It's got to be.
That's ocean out there to the left. Yep. So exactly like you said, you can see the tide coming into this area and then going back out. And then this is a big all carry par 3. You can see the flag there, and you can see the bunker there. Then up close, there's a freaking fence that goes around it. So luckily, if you get it long enough, you won't roll back into the hazard. But and a really cool texture on the sand too.
Yeah.
And custom clubhouse, and you don't really see this from the course. I had to actually fly all the way around to get the front side of this clubhouse. kind of tree-lined custom clouds. Look great. So overall, really, really fun course, and what you can really do with the old V3 tools and how good they can be.
Yep. Well done, Pac-Man.
Oh, I got one more picture. Actually,
I got
with
one
the
more
water tower.
Oh, there. So, yeah, it does look rounder there for sure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I think it's rounder there, and he probably, squatted a little bit or decremented a little bit to lower try count.
Yeah.
But that is the signature water tower on the course.
Yep. Cool. Nice course, Pac-Man.
Well done, Pac-Man. Great, great, great course. Love it.
So, feature request. We haven't had one of these in a while. And this was something that you and I kind of on pre-show, given that we had 23 courses this week. So we're going through there, and one of the problems that we had was when we're looking through those courses, what was it? The La Manja course, North or whatever it was out this week. There were two other ones that are associated with that, but came out a while ago. But there was an update to one, and because that one was updated, it was put right next to the other one. It was updated the next day. So in my head, I was thinking, oh, that's another new course this week, so I put it in here. Turns out it's not a new course, it was just updated. So when you filter stuff right now, the option of name, newest, oldest, location, designer, availability, I think, and Mash and I were talking, that we would like to see newest and oldest be based on when the course was published initially. So so if a course came out 2-3 months ago, it stays at that date as long as it's in there. Then there should be another category added here, updated, newest, oldest, like latest, or maybe to call it newest, updated, newest, oldest, updated. And then you would be able to sort by, hey, all the courses that were updated would get put to the top as well. So it just helps people find, I think, new courses rather than Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would be a great way of being able to search to say, hey, what's the newest course released? And then have another filter to be able to say, hey, what's the latest updated courses, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe it's an older course that you want to, that's got an update and you want to go play it again. And the other thing that I'm just thinking about in here, and we didn't talk about this in pre-show, but I'd like to also be able to do is I don't think you can do this. I'd like to multi-select these filters. So I would like to be able to select in an order and say, I want to select updated, I don't know, I'm making this up, updated newest. And then it would filter all of the latest updates from the newest update to the oldest update. But
you'd have to have
updates designer.
Right. It's almost like a sub sort. Like you have a primary sort,
I'd
which
like
would
to
be the
able
newest.
To click on...
So I want all the newest courses, but I want them sorted by designer.
Correct. I want to be able to click on newest. Yeah. Sorry, I want to be able to click on the new category of updates. Then I want to click on designer, and it will list me from top to bottom, newest to oldest of updates that Mashy has done, so I can see when my what courses. So I like to multi-select these filters to get a little more granular search.
Yeah. Yep. I was thinking about this. This would become the next big frequently asked question on the Facebook, though, which would be, what's the difference between sorting newest and sorting by updated? It's like when people post, what's the difference between carry raw and carry launch monitor?
Do you really think that would replace Where's Target Golf?
God, that's still there were a few of those this week too. My goodness.
There are a few of those this week as well. And speaking of, we have Post of the Week.
We have Post of the Week. Now, I don't know what you posted, having here. I'm going to go first this week.
I didn't look at your post, so hopefully there's no overlap.
Yeah, hopefully there's no overlap. All right. So, Steve, give us the funky music here, the funny music.
Let's go.
All right. So first one, I can't remember what order I put these in, but it's here. Oh. This guy just thinks the shortcuts are too close together. He wants them spread out. Which, doesn't that make it harder to memorize? Like, I mean, maybe like scorecard should be S. And maybe I don't get maybe heat map should be H, but then heat map is hide. But if we spread these all out, like pin should be P, flyover O, so club K, maybe that should be C, but I don't know, spreading them out, that just logically doesn't make any sense.
I don't want them spread out, but you know what I do want? I want, and I've been thinking about this. Here's an opportunity for Cook. Okay, so Cook's like, I think he does a great job of putting like SGT and good paraphernalia on there. You know what I want? I want this printed on some sticky stickers that are the size of keys, so that I can put those stickers on my Sim keyboard keys, so I can remember what is what.
Or you know what someone could simply do is like make a keyboard with this on it.
I was thinking it's a little bit easier to put stickers on sell a keyboard that's a GS
like
Pro
the guys that do all like the controller boxes, dude. Sell a keyboard that just has this on it, and then just think about
somebody.
You could totally and then when new shortcuts come out, you could sell everybody new keyboards.
Dude, just sell me keycaps. Just
like stickers.
3D print? No, just the keycaps that pop right off your keyboard.
How easy are they? I've never really tried to. It won't work for. Those won't work for. Yeah, but that won't work for people with a laptop, right? So I guess a new keyboard won't work. Oh, a keyboard could work with people with a laptop, but stickers, man, just sell stickers.
Yeah, just sell stickers that I can put on top of my current key, so I can not have to hit tab every time I got to remember where the key is.
I do have to say I do know the majority of these now, but
yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Okay. Can anyone explain to me what Pantheon is?
Oh, I love this one.
The comments were good too. I didn't capture the comments, but I think Amache went in there and said, "Do you mean Parthenon or something like that?" Or, but I did learn something that there's a Parthenon and there's a Pantheon. There's two different. I didn't know that there's a actually a building. A Pantheon,
the Pantheon and the Parthenon.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought this was funny though. Yeah, and it was the person said,
I thought that was funny.
The person did a head slap and said it was spell check, which I could totally see that happening. So
completely, yes. I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Now, if everyone doesn't know, I'm a cybersecurity expert. I work for a company and I'm involved in cybersecurity. This is not good. There's two big things that could be wrong here. Well, there's three things that are extremely wrong with this post. Okay. Number one, so what this guy's doing, instead of trying to read it and understand it, this guy said, I get lost in Discord. So anyone that has to go in the Discord and get the connector for Skytrack, I'm going to post at my OneDrive for you. People, do not go to people's OneDrives or anything and randomly go and download EXEs. Okay, this is an executable.
But it's on the internet.
My God.
It's true. He's doing a service.
I was going to comment on this and say, dude, don't do this, and encourage people to go to OneDrive and download random code. Now, or the other hand, this guy actually, Mashy, I was thinking, if I'm a hacker, these forums are the perfect place to go. Hey, everybody, here's the new Skytrack connector. Yep. And think about how many people have their antivirus disabled on their golf sims. You could totally get a nice bot army going by just posting some of this code, and no one would be none the wiser. Then the last thing, which makes this even funnier, okay, so there were two things. One is, don't post this stuff. One is, if you're a hacker. The third thing is, he's posting the wrong version anyway. Aren't they on 195?
I think they're on 195, correct.
So it's like, all right, dude. So, all right. Well, nice try. Anyway.
I mean, I want to give him like a B for effort. I'm going to try to simplify this for other people. So I'll give you a B for effort, but I'm going to give you an F for implementation.
I give him an A for intent. His intent was trying to be helpful.
Intent, for sure. An A for intent.
I give him an F on cybersecurity, though. An absolute F.
For sure.
Don't do this. Don't do this. And now, okay, instead of asking for the best course, now we have to make recommendations on the worst course.
Oh, I want to go ask that question. What's the worst course in GS Pro? I want to know what the absolute bottom barrel worst course is. See what they say.
So the best, I would assume the lower quality graphic would be like someone who just does billboards for the entire course, right? Billboards and like really bad, like sporadic 2D grasses, no 3DG, has to be a V3 course because you don't want blends, right?
We should throw a gauntlet out there. We should throw like the gauntlet out there, not like our old gauntlet, but we should throw like the challenge out there for course designer to say who's going to make the absolute worst course and publish it.
Oh, like right. Who and see,
like, see
I don't think
who we come up with.
Well,
right?
of course, Cook is. I don't think courses are really getting. I'm going to say this. I don't think courses are getting vetted like they used to. Okay, I've seen some really good courses, but over the past 4, 5, 6 months, I've seen a lot of courses that got published that if Cook was looking at them back in the day, never would have got published. Put it that way.
I agree.
So could we put it? I bet Amachi would do it. I bet he would publish something really bad.
I bet Amachi would do it. I bet he's got a course in the wings that he's gonna. Yeah.
That he would just do it for the lulz.
I think he would.
Yes.
I think he would. He would do it for B2B. He would do it together. We would actually make an MPOW on B2B for the worst course ever.
And then the first thing post on Facebook about how bad it was would make it onto the show.
Exactly.
Challenge accepted.
All right, Amache, the challenge is out there. Or whoever.
Or anybody, right? I'm trying to think how you could turn it into a competition, like the first person to publish the worst course ever and get a worst. Here's the talent: you got to get it posted, and someone other than a designer saying on Facebook, "Has anyone seen this course? It's the worst one I've ever seen on GS Pro." That's the winner.
Exactly. That's the winner. That's the winner. I love it.
All right.
Okay, I've got a couple too. Ready?
Okay, here we go.
I don't think mine are as good as yours. So, I love the planning.
What is going on?
I love the stick figure drawing. I think that's where he wants his screen to go. Now, I think that's a 16-foot door, like dual. I think that's for a 2-car garage. And if that's the case, I think he's earmarked 5 feet for the screen. Like, that's the narrowest screen ever.
Dude, just straighten up your garage just a little bit, too, before you put a posting.
I'd love to see a little more planning than, like, just some stick figure drawing.
What's this? Is that the thing on the top? Like this? Is this square like the screen?
I think that's the screen.
And is this his hitting mat? Is this where the R10 would go? I don't know.
That's where the R10 would go.
Yeah, and then where's Shetty's tank? He can tell by the way he's taking the picture that he's like up against the back wall, like this.
He is. He's
leaning, trying to get it all in frame. That's good.
But like if that's a 16-foot door, the center of the door is 8 feet, okay, and he's got it several feet over from there. So like that's the narrowest screen I think. I mean,
yeah.
Like,
you're right. You're right. Yes.
He's got a ton of room.
He's got like a 7x7 screen, and he's gonna be ricocheting off the corner of the wall. Oh gosh.
The only thing that would make this better is if he would have actually posted in his edition. By the way, I need to know what size screen fills a 7x7 enclosure.
I actually had a guy reach out to me on DM this week asking me a question about an upgrade on the launch monitor and said he was afraid to post it on Facebook because we didn't want him to make fun of him. I was like, oh, dude, I felt so bad. I was like, and his question was totally legit. He was asking if he should upgrade his SkyTrack, and I said, if you got the money, absolutely. I had one, and like, yes, there are misreads. If you got the money, there are better things than a SkyTrack. And he goes, I didn't want to post it because I didn't want you guys making fun of me. I said, that's a pretty tame one compared to what we normally do, right?
I think he might have reached out to both of us because somebody reached out to me. We'll talk offline and see the same guy.
Okay.
Somebody reached out to me, very similar. He was like, I didn't want to put it and have you guys. I'm like, okay, that's a legit question. Okay, like
yes,
yes. I don't want people to be afraid to post, but actually, I love that he asked. I gave him my.
No, it also would be a fun competition. We throw this because mostly designers listen to the show, right? Designers, you might have to come up with a fake profile on Facebook. Post something. The first person that posts something that makes it onto the show.
Like a troll post that makes it onto the show that we don't know who it is,
and they could come back and say that was me. Hello,
that was me.
Yes,
and we wouldn't know. Like you can't know who it is. Yeah,
right,
that'd be fun.
Right. Okay, I gotta move this.
You have to move us down a little bit.
Back.
Nope,
back.
Go back. Go back.
I'm gonna move over. I'll move this over here. Okay. I bought some range balls. Oh God, no! Don't buy range balls. I think it makes a difference. They're playing.
You buy range balls.
Not only that, but like,
is there science behind this?
God, I hope they weren't used range balls either. That makes it,
Well,
why would
my
you buy
first thought
range
was
balls?
the guy went to his local range. Yeah, my first thought was the guy went to the local range. He got his little small bucket of used range balls and he brought them home.
It wouldn't that like range balls? I mean, aren't range balls? They don't go as far, right? They're designed for durability, not performance.
They're not the same. They're not the same compression.
So they would they would read a little bit differently too, right? Because they're going to come off the club smaller or like not as fast, maybe not spin as much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I agree. They don't spin as much. They don't. So why would you even bother going and getting a range ball? It does remind me at my local range. All ranges have the range rats. I'm one of them. I'm at the range all the time hitting balls, right? And it used to be a bigger range rat than I am now. And there's a guy at my local range that never buys balls. He is there every single day. And when somebody leaves a few balls, he runs over and grabs them and he brings them down. He's got a bucket this big. And when he's there all day, and every time someone leaves a partial bucket or
so he's just constantly scoping like the crowd for like it knows when somebody's leading.
Yeah.
Now, does he just because it's kind of hard to tell if they leave any, but does he run over soon and
Yeah. Yeah, he'll walk down very quickly and he'll take a bucket with him and he'll pick them off the ground and go down. And then here's the best part. He takes them home with him.
No.
So he comes
back.
He comes back the next day with a full big old basket full of balls.
And they've never said anything to him?
Practicing.
They never say anything to him?
They just let him do it. Nah, they let him do his thing.
That's great. He's literally a ranged bum. Literally a ranged bum.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane. So
it's somewhat brilliant.
I can't imagine. Why would you spend money to build a sim and then go buy range balls?
Yeah, play with the ball that you play with outside. I mean, that's the whole. I don't know, unless you're.
Yes.
I guess if you built a sim strictly for fun, if you weren't a serious golf, I don't know why you would. But maybe you just want to do it socially, and maybe that makes sense. But okay.
Then go buy some super softs or something that are cheap, and stick them in the sim.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, move us over to the right side.
Oh, to the right side?
To the right edge. No,
here?
You're there.
Right,
sorry. My right, your left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. For these, you may need to move us a little further over. These next two posts are completely related, okay? And before you hit go, I'm just going to make sure that I tee this up real quick, okay?
Go ahead.
I want to make sure that you know that the place to go to get your entertainment needs squared away is the
Jug Mountain Strip Club group.
Oh, so
Jug
Mountain Strip Club
and
the stroke putting area. The GS Pro Facebook group. The GS Pro users Facebook group is the place to go for all of your entertainment needs. So
the main group. Okay, here we go. No. What? No.
Yeah, this is the Golf Simulator Forum high end. Got some Taylor Swift tickets for sale. If you're looking for some.
Are you kidding me? And what's worse is this. You would think you would at least do it in one of the golf sim that's specifically for there's a golf buy used sell trade used stuff. It's not even
the one buy sell use or something. Yep.
Yeah, it's not even. This is more of an advice one. This was I'm going to sell some. Was he serious too? Did anyone comment and just say, dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody replied back in and said, "Hey, I'm selling some dirty laundry."
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
And then we'll follow this one up with one more.
Oh no, another one?
Yeah, this is another one at GS Pro users. So who knew that if you wanted Taylor Swift tickets, that the golf sim Facebook groups were the place to go.
It is, at least the people in these groups have money, right? I mean,
that might have been a good thought process. Hey, these guys are building Sims. Although some of the Sims that we've put on this show, they're not going to buy Taylor Swift tickets.
And they're not going to let those people in the parking lot sometimes. Yeah. I can't believe you found two of these. And not only that, but like this one's Canada and this one's Miami. How weird is that? That's so. I think we got our show. Taylor Swift tickets for sale.
Yep. Taylor Swift tickets. Go to the GS Pros. Go to your golf sim Facebook group for GS.
Good one.
Those are what I got. Those are my solid of the week.
Those are solid. Well done. Yep. All right, that brings it to a close then. Thankfully, we got this one in because it was matching up our schedules was tough the past couple weeks here, right?
Yeah. I think we do have, and you and I need to figure this out. We do have spring breaks. I think you and I are on different spring breaks. I don't know if you're around. I'm going somewhere for spring break with the fam, so we'll have to. That's not until the end of the month, though. So I think for the next few weeks, the schedules are going to be okay.
Yeah, well, they're going to be okay for me because with the new puppy, one of us always has to be home. I'm not going anywhere. Yep. I know my daughter. We were doing a lot of field hockey, and I know that's. Well, we're in between field hockey season right now. She does start outdoor, but I think we're off for like 1 or 2 weeks until that kicks in again. So, whatever. Play it by ear like we always do, right?
I think we'll be able to do a pretty regular show for the next several weeks, and we just have spring break that's going to may cause a little bit of a hiccup. But other than that, I think
we'll figure it out. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. See you later.
Thanks, everybody.